Hi everyone, I hope all is well with you. So I am here with some royal empowerment. Before I get into today's message, I want to say thank you to those who have been watching Royal Empowerment from Kingdom Purpose TV Network. And these messages that I do on Facebook, these are the actual videos that goes to the Royal Empowerment Network. So the post that I had put on my personal Facebook page and my public Facebook page, that post was based on the analytics from the Kingdom Purpose Network, and Royal Empowerment came in the top 5 viewership of those that were using the web app. So I am godly grateful that somehow this ministry is making a difference. So, hello, President Conyers. Good to see you. So, today's message is about betting on you, okay? I bet on me, okay? Now, before I get deep into that, I want to explain to y'all, because I don't want anybody to think that, oh, you're leaving God out of the equation. No, God is a given when we're talking about betting on us, okay? God is a given, okay? A lot of times as Christians, we just relax on God doing everything. There are certain things that we have to let God do and take care of, and there are some things that is simply faith without works is dead. That means God will give you a measure to do. He'll give you some things there are some things we have to do on our part, okay? And when it comes to our purpose, we got work, okay? We got work. Now, when God made us, when we're thinking about God doing everything, when God made us before the fall, before what we call the fall in the Garden of Eden, guess what? We had to tend to the garden. Okay, and that's just to let y'all see that our whole thing is not just sitting around not doing anything, and when we want to change, we just let God do everything. There are some things that we have to do. First thing you want to do, because we already have God with us, right? You got to bet on yourself. What does this look like? All right, and first of all, while I'm even talking about this was on my mind this weekend. And about a year ago, I was talking to a woman that has her own organization. She's a phenomenal woman. And I had this conversation, and she was saying, yeah, you got to bet on you. Okay, so she was saying some good things. And one of the things that just came back to me, like was in the last week, was that you got to bet on you. That means you got to be your own cheerleader. You got to back yourself, okay? And so we're going to look at places in the Bible where you are to encourage yourself. Matter of fact, I'm going to just start right here. David encouraged himself in the Lord, according to Samuel 30:6, okay? And here's the thing. David was distressed. David had people that was upset with him because of things that was happening around them. But at the same time, David had to bet on him by encouraging himself in the Lord. Okay. So, the reason why you want to bet on you, because this is how you're going to thrive in your purpose. This is how you're going to thrive in your purpose. All right. I don't want this to sound redundant. And I don't want people to be like, what do you mean your purpose? When you are happy with what you do in life, that most likely is your purpose. If you're doing something good, you're doing something praiseworthy, you know God don't have a problem with what you're doing, that is your purpose. That thing that you wake up to do every day, that thing that you go to sleep late at night, that you're working on, you're thinking about, and you're planning about, that's your purpose, okay? That thing that you have on the inside of you, you don't know whether you should share it with somebody or not. That's your purpose. That's the thing that you got to birth out of you. That's the thing that you got to release out of you. So that's why you got to bet on you. Because when you're talking about doing the things that you desire, doing the things, having things to happen in your life concerning what you want to see manifest, you got to bet on you. You got to bet on you. Even though it might feel scary at first, Even though you may have some doubters and some naysayers, even though you might have had some bad experiences that might make you feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do this or whatever. You have to bet on you. You have to go to work, okay? Now, with me in my life, okay, and my path to where I am now, I've been around some people. I remember, I'm going to say one scenario, and I ain't mad at this person because sometimes when people do stuff to you, they're ignorant. That's just a fact. They don't know better. That's what I mean when I say somebody's ignorant. Some people do things to you and they don't know better. But I remember one time I walked into my high school and wasn't bothering nobody. And that's how the devil like to show up. When you ain't bothering nobody, the devil like to sometimes show up and get something started with you. So here go somebody telling myself, oh, well, you think you somebody because you wearing those shades. And I'm looking like, what type of mess is that to say to somebody? And a lot of times people who do things like that to other people, that's how they make themselves feel good. They can't just be confident on their own. They feel like in order to feel better about themselves, they got to make you feel low. And that's a psychology that some people have about themselves. Blessings to you, prophetess. It's good to see you. So again, there was somebody that just straight up came up to me and was like, you think you somebody because you wearing them shades. And I'm just looking like I'm minding my business, you know. And that was during a time where my self-esteem was very low. My confidence was very low. I would walk around with my head down a lot of times in high school. And that continued on to some parts of my life in college as well. So a lot of my low self-esteem, it followed me into college. And I thank God for my college experience because for me, that was where I learned to connect more with God. I learned to, that was where I started to meet God more. Okay. So I say this because, again, when you have an interaction like that, that makes you feel like you're not capable. That makes you feel like you can't do it or you're not supposed to do it or who in the world are you to do it. And the thing is, God has placed it in you. And part of you developing and growing is doing it anyway. Doing it when people don't see your vision. Okay. Just going out and doing it. And look, like I said, it can be scary at first. That's how it was when I started my Christian sorority. It was scary at first because, oh, I felt so good about this idea. But when I ran it by some people was just like, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. Or they wasn't interested. There was also some that seemed like they was interested or whatever. But I'm going to get more into that in a little bit. Okay. So it's the reason why getting into your purpose is scary also is because of failure. Sometimes when you fail at something, you just feel like, oh, it's not for you. And I felt like that with getting into my purpose. When you fail once or twice or whatever, you just feel like it might not be for you. It's embarrassing when you're failing at something that you really want to succeed at. So when you encounter failure, though, the way you handle it is try something different. What have you done the first time that you don't need to do the second time, or you haven't done the first time? Okay. And that's how you tackle a failure with getting into your purpose. And getting into my purpose, and your purpose is not just one thing. It doesn't always have to be one thing. Okay. Like with me, my purpose, with me being clear about is teaching. I always wanted to be a teacher since I was a child, whether anybody knew that or not. I always wanted to be a teacher. I never talked about it like that, but I always envisioned it and dreamed about it. Not like like going to sleep and waking up in a dream, but this was just something that I wanted to do. But when it came time for me to take those exams, I was not prepared at my best. I had to retake some exams. And at one point I started to second guess and doubt, was this even a part of my purpose? Okay. And then, you know, we got to be careful not to fall into the thing of not doing what you're supposed to do, but you expecting God to make something miraculous happen when you're supposed to do something on your end. When it comes to being skillful, that's something that we got to do. That's something that we got to experience, okay? See, God comes in with the miracles, with the stuff that you can't do, okay? But the stuff that you're supposed to do, if you're going to be a good professional about anything, you need some skill, you need some practice, you need some type of history, some type of, you need some type of baggage, okay? Not baggage, but some type of backing. That's what I want to say, backing, okay? So getting into your purpose, you might fail at some attempts, okay? And it could be that you need to be more prepared, okay? It ain't that's not your purpose, but you might not be properly prepared. As I was when I had started out trying to graduate from college to be a teacher. I needed more preparation. So you have to prepare. And so what does this look like too? Okay. Because again, we're betting on us. We're betting on us when it comes to our purpose. When it deals with our purpose, it's not about nobody else, but what God has placed in you. God and what God has placed in you, and you carrying out what God has placed in you. Okay. It's not about everybody, unless they have a direct hand in your purpose. That thing God has placed in you, that's for you. You got to manifest that thing, and you got to figure out how to get it to work. That's why, again, if you come across failure, you got to figure out what didn't work the first time and what can you do different when you have that thing in you, okay? When you have that idea, that vision, that dream and stuff in you. All right, so you want to stay focused, all right? No matter what anybody say, some people feel that because they can't do it, you can't do it. And you got to watch out who gets in your ear too. And when it comes to your purpose, I don't care how popular, how powerful somebody seem. When it comes to that thing that God has given you, you better not turn that thing loose because somebody say you can't do it. I don't see how you can. I don't see how you're qualified. I don't see how you can do this and you can do that. You better not let somebody snatch your purpose out your hand and try to put all the type of fear in you about you failing. Okay. You got to stay focused. You got to understand that getting into your purpose, some people ain't gonna believe what you're doing. And sometimes they got to see it to believe it. But you better use your faith and walk in that purpose, okay? Now, preparing. Y'all got businesses and stuff like that. Y'all got organizations and things like that. I'm going to tell y'all this, okay? And what I wish I would have did last year when I went to the I Am Her International Awards ceremony. So in the award ceremony, we were given a couple of minutes to speak on behalf of the award that we received. And so that last award that I received, I didn't know that was going to turn into a powerful message. And the message itself was so powerful that somebody's apostle walks up to me and is like, hey, do you got a business card? I would like for you to speak at our women's conference whenever we have a women's conference. And I was just like, I didn't have a business card and I didn't know what to do right then. But I did not come prepared with a business card because in that moment, even though, you know, I'm building my ministries and things like that, I wasn't thinking about carrying a business card. And so now I learned I need to carry me a business card because you never know. So whenever you have a business or organization, you don't know who's going to come across you. You don't know who's going to see or catch a glimpse of your talent, a glimpse of your gifts, and they're going to want to get in contact with you. So y'all need to go ahead and start getting y'all some business cards, okay? Don't worry about the business cards being perfect. Just have the relevant information on there. The best way that somebody can contact you, go ahead and start doing those business cards now, because you never know where you're going to go, and somebody going want to know more about you, want to know how they can keep up with you, how they can follow you. Okay, because like I said, I was not expecting somebody to walk up and be like, hey, you got a business card or whatever. Start getting into your purpose. Okay, let's take Hebrew 11:1 to mind. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Y'all better start getting y'all substance together. Get those business cards. Okay, get your things in order. All right, start planning and preparing. Write things down. Okay, Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. That's what it tells us to do. You got to write this stuff down, so you make a checklist of all the stuff you need to get. Start gathering it. Prayerfully do these things too, okay? Prayerfully. Whatever it is, start getting your substance together. I don't care if you ain't got no customers. I was also talking to the same woman that said you got to bet on, when she said you got to bet on me, or she was telling me, you know, I got to bet on me, right? At another point, I heard her say, shoot, when she started her ministry, she didn't know how that was going to take about. She didn't know anybody that had association as to where her ministry was supposed to go. Okay, but when you get that vision, you better start setting everything up. So when it's time come, only thing you got to do is just launch it. Okay, only thing you got to do is just launch it. All right. When it comes to getting people on board, don't be discouraged if everybody's not running to your vision, running to your project, your purpose, your plan, your ministry, your organization, whatever it is. Don't be discouraged. Don't try to force it, because those that belong to you, they're going to come. They're going to see. They're going to take interest. That's the main example I can use is my Christian sorority, because the women that are there now, most of them, I believe, I didn't have to do any explaining about why you should join. They were interested. They did the research and they decide, oh, I want to be a part of this. Okay. So when you get your stuff set up well enough, people are going to decide automatically whether they want to be a part of it or not. So you don't have to dig and pry and beg, but have your stuff ready where you can present it. So those that see it, they're going to jump on board with it. Okay. Because I mean, shoot, I attracted some great women. I don't care what anybody say about my sorors. I got some great women in my organization. I got some great women in our organization. I got some trailblazing women in our organization. Okay. When it comes to numbers, you better appreciate the faithful few. Appreciate the faithful few. You got to show up for the faithful few. Okay. I know ideally a lot of people, when you think of your business and your stuff growing, you're thinking of a countless number. Sometimes I don't know. But at the same time, you got to take care of what you have so you can have more. Okay. So I am grateful to the sorors that I do have, okay? I am not ungrateful, and I don't take what they bring to our sisterhood lightly, okay? And if anybody want to know, when I talk about sorority, I'm not talking about the conventional sororities. I'm talking about a Christian sorority. And what I've been intending on doing, I'm gonna have to move a little faster, is do more like a question and answer session with my soror, so we'll let people know what we're more about and what sets us apart from the rest of the organizations. But that's something that's part of my purpose. But to the women that would be interested, that would flow for you. But nevertheless, I want to make sure I have covered everything, because it's important that you appreciate who you are. You appreciate that you are God's design, and the enemy don't want you to flourish, because for one, when you flourish in your purpose and you're doing it and God is getting the glory from it. Of course, you're exposing his schemes and the challenges that you go through with getting into your purpose. A lot of times you got to look at yourself as a diamond. Okay. The process may not be pretty. The process may not be comfortable, but at the end of the day, when people that never seen you before, they come across you, they see the end result. They don't see what you look like before you went through that process. Okay. They don't see how you was buried, okay, in the rough. They only just see how you came out. When people meet some of y'all today, they didn't, when I met some of y'all, I don't see where you come from. I just see what's before me. I see this mighty man or woman of God. Okay. Because in Christ, we are a new creation. Okay. We're a new creature in Christ. All right. You done went through the transformation. You done went through the process or whatnot. So when it comes to getting to your purpose, you got to get your stuff together. It's going to be a process. It might feel discouraging at times, but you got to keep showing up. I remember when I was promoting my organization, I was not probably in the season for it to flourish, but I was getting everything together and I was showing up at places that I thought people would be interested in. So when that did not work out for me and I realized this might be wasting time and resources, let me try something else. So then I found a different way of promoting my organization. So you still need to just take your failures as a lesson to give you some direction. All right. So you want to bet on you. If you're going to dominate as a king and queen, you can't let anybody stop your reign. You cannot let anybody stop your succession. You cannot let anybody stop your progression. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all like this, because I know some of y'all that met me, you met me after the part I done went through the rough patches. After I done went through people taking their shots at me, chipping away at me or whatever. And you got to get to the point now where you can say, I'm a diamond, baby. I'm a diamond. Okay. I'm a diamond. You tried to bury me, but I'm a diamond. And that's how you got to get to where you are today with your purpose. You got to be like, I'm a diamond. Okay. The reason why, and for me, I was the one. I was the one people want to single out. I was the one people ain't want to deal with. I was the one people just thought that was just a nobody. Okay. But then I look at where God has brought me, who God has put me in front of, how far I came. And I just thank God. I just thank God that I didn't die in that struggle. I thank God that when people said these things, I didn't stop. I thank God that even though when I didn't feel like it, or when I didn't feel like I was worthy of certain things, I just kept moving forward. And you guys, when it comes to mistakes, everybody makes them. Sometimes mistakes can make you feel embarrassed. You got to understand, and what'll help you be more confident within yourself is to know everybody makes mistakes. The problem is in today's society is that when people make mistakes, if it gets into the wrong ears, the ears of those that feel good with projecting their insecurities, then that's where you have people being put down. Okay, so you got to understand, even though those people might take shots at you, they make mistakes too. You can't let people hold your failures over your head. Okay, so if you're going to dominate, don't let anybody stop what you got going on. Be that diamond. It is time for you to shine. I used to hide a lot. I used to hide because on the inside, I felt unworthy. Sometimes, even at times when I do these videos, at one point, I started to feel like, who want to listen to me? Who want to listen to me? Why would, you know, and some people might still be like, well, that's just such and such or whatever. She just talking. But I'm not for them if that's how they feel about it. I'm for those that want to get some encouragement. I'm for those, I'm here to help God's people that needs to know you're royalty. to walk in the fullness of what God has created you to be. So I'm not here for those that say, well, she just talking a bunch of hoo-la. I don't care no more, y'all. When I tell you I don't care because everybody gonna have their opinion. Okay, you gonna have your opinion about somebody. It don't mean you gotta air it out, because we people of God and we gotta remember that. But for me, I'm gonna do me. And that's how you gotta navigate through this life. That's why you gotta bet on me. Okay, that's the mindset. Okay, that's why you gotta bet on you. Okay, because I'm gonna bet on me. I'm gonna do what God has placed in me to do. Okay, and it's gonna be good. Okay, because when God was finished with everything, he said, and it was good. All right, so I want y'all to be encouraged, because this here is a trailblazing message. And getting into your purpose, meaning you're becoming a trailblazer, whether you know it or not. You're the only one in your family doing certain things that nobody else never done. You're the only one. You're the light that's blazing that path. Okay? So this is a trailblazing message. This message is for the trailblazers. People getting in their purpose. You getting your purpose. You love what you're doing. That's what this is for right here. But in the meantime, I think that's the end of my time. So y'all, I love y'all much. Take care, and I will see you in the next broadcast.